Hello, Leo, and welcome to Ultra Instinct Tarot. My name is Andres, and I will be the one taking care of you for this reading. Let's go here and here. So as always, I will be receiving the help from these three homies. They are same, but different. So we are going to get a little bit organized here, and then we are going to go ahead and get started with the Queen of Swords, one of my favorite cards of the Thoth Tarot. Starting with the court cards, starting with Water of Air, the Queen of Swords. The person symbolized by this card should be intensely perceptive, a keen observer, a subtle interpreter, an intense individualist, swift and accurate at recording ideas, in action confident, in spirit gracious and just. Those are some cool words. This card represents Crowley's sun sign, and so naturally, it is the most intimidating card in the deck. One look at this lady tells us she means business. Water of Air is suggestive of clouds that promise either life-giving rain or the threat of a torrential cloudburst. She holds the severed head of a bearded man in her left hand and the sword that probably did the job in her right. One may think this grisly touch is just another gruesome Crowleyism, but it is not. This image is the classic Golden Dawn description of the Queen of Swords and makes a fundamental Kabbalistic statement. A suit of swords represents Yetzirah, the formative world, the mind's eye of deity. Swords and Yetzirah's counterpart in the human soul is the Ruach, which is the intellect, which is centered in the brain, the human head. Using the sword of discretion and reason, the Queen has separated the higher faculties of the intellect from the influences of the lower nature, the nefesh, the animal soul. She is quite literally, Crowley points out, the liberator of the mind. The head is that of a bearded man, the hermit of Virgo perhaps. The eyes closed peacefully, the face suggesting the trance of deep meditation, which is a hint on how to do this. The influence of Virgo moving into Libra gives the Queen of Swords the practicality and grace of a great monarch. This native should be intensely perceptive, a keen observer, a subtle interpreter, an intense individualist, swift and accurate at recording ideas, in action confident, in spirit gracious and just. Her movements will be graceful, and her ability in dancing and balancing exceptional. If ill-dignified, she can be as cruel and dangerous as she looks. Crowley's fellow Queens of Swords include Mahatma Gandhi, Eleanor Roosevelt, H.G. Wells, and Stephen King. Sky blues, yellows, and white cumulus clouds dominate this card. The Queen of Swords, the liberator of the mind. Ooh, and a Knight of Wands. Okay. So the knights in this deck are the king versions of the court cards. So this and any other tarot would be the King of Wands. So this is interesting. We have two court cards right next to each other. And this is the Fire of Fire. This was the Water of Air. Fire of Fire. Ooh, November 13th to December 12th. Those dates are coming up. The moral qualities appropriate to this figure are activity, generosity, fierceness, impetuosity, pride, impulsiveness, swiftness, and unpredictable actions. More swiftness, but this one is in unpredictable actions. And this one was at recording and labeling ideas. So if wrongly energized, The Knight of Wands is evil-minded, cruel, bigoted, and brutal. He is, in either case, ill-fitted to carry on his action. He has no means of modifying it according to circumstances. If he fails in his first effort, he has no resource. At first I was thinking these guys could probably make a good couple. Could make a good pair. They could balance each other out. Representing the fire of fire, the Knight of Wands certainly has the potential of being the strongest member of the court cards. He represents the Yod subdivision of the Yod Herebarche. However, it is well for us to remember that where court cards are concerned, representing something is not the same as being something. Ooh. Harris translates the Golden Dawn description into a magnificent and thrilling image that almost leaps off the card. Did I say leap? Explodes is perhaps a better word. That forward thrust of the horse's mane and tail and the hair of the beard of the knight suggests that they aren't so much in the act of jumping as being blown from behind by some unimaginably strong explosive force. It is the portrait of someone who is riding a rocket, and that can be very risky. If the rocket isn't aimed properly, he or she misses the target. If there is not enough fuel, he or she crashes. If there is too much fuel, the person explodes. But if everything goes well, it is the most spectacular of successes. Robert Fulton, Indira Gandhi, interesting, two Gandhis. Robert Kennedy, Frank Sinatra, Mary Queen of Scots, all were Knights of Wands. Here, fiery reds and yellows and gold dominate this card as they do all the wand court cards. So what's interesting is that if there is an explosive force that is making this jump forward, I'm either glad it's the King of Swords if the Queen of Swords is on his team, but if the Queen of Swords is not on his team, then I feel bad for this Knight of Wands because he's probably not gonna have a good time. All right, so the court cards are the ones I honestly just can have the hardest time wrapping my head around for readings. Like, what do they mean? Like, are you supposed to embody one of these? Does that mean there's multiple people going on in this scenario? What's going on here? Participation. Okay, so these are people that are participating with you. There's a couple of Queen of Swords and a Knight of Wands. Doesn't have to be a couple, but two people that could balance each other out. Interesting. So here's the Queen of Swords chilling. Here's the Knight of Wands chilling. So there might be two more. One of them is definitely you. So there could be another one if you can fill it in. Unless this guy stands for both because it's yellow and red. So that would also make sense that it is just the ones that are here. And either way, this is the Four of Wands, the Four of Fire, action, the Four of Action, the element of action. So each figure in this mandala holds the right hand up in an attitude of receiving and the left hand down in an attitude of giving. The whole circle creates a tremendous energy field that takes on the shape of the double door J, a Tibetan symbol for the thunderbolt. The mandala has a quality like that of the energy field that forms around a Buddha, where all the individuals taking part in the circle make a unique contribution to create a unified and vital whole. It is like a flower whose wholeness is even more beautiful than the sum of its parts, at the same time enhancing the beauty enhancing the beauty of each individual petal. Yeah. You have an opportunity to participate with others now, to make your contribution to creating something greater and more beautiful than each of you could manage alone. Your participation will not only nourish you, but will also contribute something precious to the whole. Have you ever seen night going? Very few people even become aware of things which are happening every day. Have you ever seen the evening coming? The midnight and its song, the sunrise and its beauty? We're behaving almost like blind people in such a beautiful world where we are living in small ponds of our own misery. It is familiar, so even if somebody wants to pull you out, you struggle. You don't want to be pulled out of your misery or of your suffering. Otherwise, there is so much joy all around, you just have to be aware of it and to become a participant, not a spectator. Philosophy is speculation. Zen is participation. Participate in the night leaving. Participate in the evening coming. Participate in the stars and participate in the clouds. Make participation your lifestyle, and the whole existence becomes such a joy, such an ecstasy. You could not have dreamed of a better universe. Interesting. So this means that no matter where you are or what is going on, you are already participating. You just have to watch things happen around you, and that is a participant, not a spectator. You just have to be aware of it and to become a participant. Become part of what is going on around you, instead of just being on autopilot and watching it all go by. Oh, intensity. And look at more of those colors. And I think this is the Night of Fire. Yep, this is the Night of Fire. Interesting. So we have the Night of Fire, but this is not the actual Night of Fire. This is actually what would be with the King of Fire in this one. But we are just gonna go by both of them are the Night of Fire. Interesting. And they're both, look how they're both going to the left. They're both, this one wants to go straight towards the Queen of Swords, and this one wants to go straight into participating with whatever is going on around him. So the figure in this card has taken shape of an arrow, moving with the single pointed focus of one who knows precisely where he is going. Interesting, because that is definitely what this guy needed, to have that single pointed focus, or else if he misses his target, then everything will just go up in flames. So there's an intensity that needs to be focused so that you go straight to where you want to go. So he is moving so fast that he has become almost pure energy, but his intensity should not be mistaken for the manic energy that makes people drive their cars at top speed to get from point A to point B. That kind of intensity belongs to the horizontal world of space and time. The intensity represented by the Night of Fire belongs to the vertical world of the present moment, a recognition that now is the only moment there is, and here is the only space. So that might as well be the only one you participate in. And you act with the intensity of the Night of Fire, it is likely to create ripples in the waters around you. Some will feel uplifted and refreshed by your presence, others may feel threatened or annoyed, but the opinions of others matter little. Nothing can hold you back right now. Zen says, think of all the great works and great teachings as your deadly enemy. Avoid them because you have to find your own source. You have not to be a follower, an imitator. You have to be an original individual. You have to find your innermost core on your own, with no guide, no guiding scriptures. Yeah, each of these is its own color, its own individual, and then together they're going to create something really cool. It is a dark night, but with the intense fire of inquiry, you are bound to come to the sunrise. Everybody who has burned with intense inquiry has found the sunrise. Others only believe. Those who believe are not religious. They are simply avoiding the great adventure of religion by believing. Nice. So there's something about your single-minded focus individuality that is going to be part of this whole. Queen of Swords again. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. Alright, so we heard about the Queen of Swords from the Thoth Tarot. Now let's hear the Queen of Swords from this tarot book. So now this Queen of Swords is about integrity, principles, being perceptive, severe, aloof, truth. The Queen of Swords is gifted with a nimble and perceptive mind. Nothing escapes her notice. She is strict but fair, though her detached and aloof air may intimidate others. For her, honesty above all is important. She always seeks the truth, even if it is painful. Her principles make her a powerful champion for her beliefs. She is guarded, but close friends will find a charming conversationalist. How can we unite logic with feeling? When you have extreme emotions, can you just pause and try to observe them as if observing another person? And the Queen of Swords, mind and heart come together as one. How can you apply logic to your feelings so that you can channel them for the best possible outcome? Face the truth. The truth is important. It is more important. The truth is what this intensity that's going to lead you where you need to go. Regardless of how painful it can be, face up to any difficult truths. Balance emotion with logic. Balance these two. Have them both participate instead of shunning one or the other. And that intensity of everyone being on the same single-minded focus, everyone wants the same goal. If they have a different path to get there, that is okay. The only thing that is important is the single-minded focused goal. Let your mind be free. This queen cherishes her personal freedom. New doors are open to her when she allows her mind to remain free. Keep an open mind and don't let the judgment of others restrict your outlook. Yeah. Oh, wow. And both go in the same direction. Just like these were going the same direction. Now these two are. And death, that only means change. So something this intense with these 4 individuals is definitely gonna bring about some sort of change. Death. See, that death is okay. Fall, autumn, this time of season is important, just as important as spring. If there was no death, if there was no fall, if there was no autumn, there would be no spring for all the flowers to come alive again. And they wouldn't know if they were alive if there was no winter where they were dead. And that's all that death is just change. The knowing of change, endings, letting go, transformation, rebirth, moving on, transition. The kind of change that death brings with him is not always welcome, but it is necessary. Life is always in motion, and what is here today cannot remain forever. It grows sickly and stagnant. When death brings about the end of one chapter, he opens the door to the next. The ending of this stage may be painful, but is ultimately for the greater good. At the core of the death card is the concept of transformation. You may have experienced many transitions in your life, but there could be a lingering feeling that this change is different. Are you holding illusions, beliefs, and attitudes that are no longer serving you? Are you in a toxic relationship? What needs to be released in order for you to truly grow? Lean into this change. Think back to major transformations that you've undergone in your past. Take stock of what was lost, but also what you gained and how you grew. Let these serve as reminders to be excited for change. Yeah, change is as simple as, do you remember when you changed from a baby to a toddler, or a toddler to a kid? Did you notice when death came for your teenage years, and now you're not a teenager anymore? All those little transitions are all little deaths that just make you keep on going. And it looks like there's a thing here that is transitioning and that is growing. It's like all of these are being focused onto this participation card. Everything is about this participation card. All right. So you know what I'm talking about, huh, Leo? And let's see some final advice from the Office Oracle deck. Yep, okay. So few words do trick. So there's no need for me to keep on trying to explain things when few words do trick. Why was time say that word when few words do trick? See that clarity that happened after that? Hug it out, bitch. Especially if it deals with yourself. Just hug it out. Interesting. It's probably having to deal with these individuals. There was an intense. Let's see what the last one is. Interesting. Okay. So you know exactly what's going on. I have no clue what's going on. But I'm going to trust that you know. Because The universe is saying, did I stutter? And it's quoting Stanley Hudson. That's right. That's right. See you next time, Leo.